The simulator place I go to has monthly tournaments. This one is for the month of February. It's a driver off T1. Hit a pretty good ball. The fairways here are gigantic. So you'll see as the round progresses, it's kind of hard to miss them right in the middle. With a good drive, I still have like 300 something in. So just hitting a 3-wood down there. End up right in front of the bunker with this one. That leaves me a 50-yard wedge in, and I've been practicing these, but obviously not enough. I need to keep grinding because I should be able to get this in the gimme zone. I'm going to have about 20 foot for birdie here. Hit a good putt. It just broke a little too much to the right. We'll have to settle for the par here. Hole 2 is straight downhill off the tee box, and I hit a really good one. As dead straight of a drive as you can get. I almost thought it needed to sit down to not get in that water, but we're good. This left about 85 yards in, and I am pretty good with these kind of wedge shots because it's almost a full 58. So I put this one on the green, about 10 foot for birdie. Said this was just 1 inch uphill, but I don't buy that. I hit a good putt and it just didn't make it there. Didn't give it enough. Hole 3, another driver off the tee. Good ball here. Just a little bit of a draw to the left side of the bunker, right in the fairway. Right around 110 in, I'm hitting a 50 degree. I left the face open on this one, flared it out a little bit to the right. That's going to leave me a long birdie putt. This ended up being about a 30-foot putt for birdie, and I hit a really nice putt. You can see it tracking here, and boom, it's in. Yes! Hole 4 is a big, long par 3, and I'm hitting an apex UW. I kind of thinned it. Not a very high ball flight, but I'm actually going to get away with this. It's just to the right of the pin. I left about 15 foot for birdie. I thought I hit a good putt here, but it wasn't. It just fell to the left a little too much. Hole 5 is probably my favorite tee shot of the day. I was aiming at this bunker out here. It was a 250 carry. I just barely made it over the bunker and into the fairway. Really good shot. And then what happens after a good drive? You always chunk the wedge. That's a rule of golf. I did it here, but I actually got away with it a little bit. Made it on the green. Another really solid birdie putt here. I thought it was going to break back towards the hole, but it didn't, and I ended up having to settle for a par. Hole 6 is a par 3, and I'm hitting an 8-iron here. A really good shot. If it would have spun, it would have been really, really good, but it didn't, and I got quite a ways for the birdie. I misjudged how far uphill this one was and ended up leaving it woefully short.
Oh, you got to go.
I couldn't quite make putt number 2, and this is a 3-putt bogey on a par 3. Yuck. Oh, hole 7. What can I say about hole 7? I'm going to have nightmares about this hole forever. It was a terrible tee shot that I pushed to the right. Ended up in the really thick stuff down here. Not a good shot. 7-iron. And again, not a good shot. Ended up in the thick stuff again down the right-hand side.
In a bush.
Tried to hack it out again, and guess what? Still on the right side in the junk. All right, let's try one last time to get it up and out of here. Finally, not down the right side and managed to get on the green, but that's not where this adventure ends. Oh no, my friends. Hit a putt that I thought was going to be okay, but it caught the side of a cliff and ended up rolling downhill about 26 foot away from the hole.
Oh, shit.
All I can do is laugh at this point.
Look at that. That is crazy.
Okay, so let's try to put this up the giant hill. Nope, didn't give it enough and ended up outside the gimme zone. For those counting at home, this is putt number 3. Still don't make it, so I 4-putt this green for a smooth triple. Time to regroup and not let that blow up the whole round. I hit a pretty good tee ball here, right in the middle of the fairway. That leaves me about 210 in, and I'm hitting apex UW, trying to go for it in 2. I don't hit the best ball here. It's left, but it's green side. Again, I really have to work on the short game on the sim. I should have got this a lot closer than I did, but I do have an opportunity for a birdie. I hit a really good putt for this one. I thought it was going to go in, but it ended up falling just a little bit too far right. The clutch bounced back par. Hole 9 is a par 3, and I'm hitting a 9-iron here. I thought this was a really good shot. It went directly over the flag. I figured it was going to spin a little bit, but it didn't, and left me a pretty long birdie putt. I misjudged both line and speed on this one, but luckily it sat down in enough time for a gimme par. Number 10 was another flare to the right off the tee, but luckily no real trouble over there this time. I'm just trying to advance it here. Took an iron, got it up there another 150 yards. The swing is coming off the rails on this hole. I ended up pulling this one really far to the left. Hands on the hips, I'm thinking it's going in the water, but it does stay up. I think I've said this before, I need to work on chipping. I should have been able to get this inside the gimme zone, but I didn't. But you know, didn't need a gimme this time when you have a lab putter. Drain this one for the par save. Hole 11, and finally another good tee ball. We haven't seen one of those in a while. Happy to see you again, friend. In between zone here at 120 yards, and I didn't give the 50 degree enough. Ended up bouncing short and rolling back down this hill. I tried to get cute and hit a flop shot, and instead I sculled into the hill and back off the other side of the green. Little chipperooski here. And again, hey, need to practice these. Didn't get it in the gimme zone. I made a little bit of a mess here on this hole, and this putt here to save bogey ends up missing and take a double. Hole 12 is a longer par 3, and I'm hitting a 4-iron off the tee. This is a pretty good ball. It great flight right at the pin. It ends up a little bit short, but bounces up and onto the front edge. This is another really long birdie putt, about 30 foot, and I knew right off the face that this one was going to be up and in the cup.
Yes!
On to hole 13, and this is another really solid drive. Couldn't get any straighter than this, can it? Right in the middle of the fairway. This ends up leaving about 80 yards in. I'm hitting a 54 degree here because I want to throw it past the hole because I think it's going to spin. I do exactly that. It does not spin and leaves another long birdie putt. I hit a really good putt with this one. I thought it was going to go in, but it ended up just a little bit shy. Par 3, and I thought because this was downhill that the 8-iron would get there, but in reality I should have hit the 7 here. It ended up hitting right on the front edge. Another long birdie putt upcoming. I didn't give this one enough speed up the hill. Ended up with a 10-footer to save par. Rolled a good putt, and it always feels good to save a par. Hole 15, drive off the tee again, and another pretty good ball, right in the middle of the fairway. 3 wood to try to make it in 2 for the par 5, but I did cook this a little bit, ended up hooking it to the left. Have I mentioned how I need to practice these little chips? Yeah, left it short again. Burned this one by and ended up having to take the bogey.
Again?
Number 16 is such a pretty hole. I took an 8-iron off the tee, and I hit a great shot here. I thought this was going to go in when I first hit it, but I ended up having about 15 foot for birdie. About 15 foot for birdie. Hit a great putt. Thought it was going to drip in, but no such luck. Settling for the par. Hole 17 is a really fun one. As long as you can get the ball anywhere in the fairway up here, it's going to feed down to the green. So you'll see, I hit it up here to the left side. It hits and just starts bouncing and rolling. And it's going to roll all the way down to the front edge of the green here. I'll be putting for eagle. So we've now drove the green here, and we're going to have an eagle putt from about 20 foot. I didn't read enough break on this one and ended up low side, but we're in the gimme zone and we will take a birdie here. Hole 18, I feel like Max K saved me because this was a lazy swing that probably should have sliced into the ocean, but it stayed up. This is a pretty long finishing hole, so I have to hit the apex UW again. Ended up right here on the front edge of the green. I was able to lag this putt up there into the gimme zone to finish the round with a par. So in my first round of the tournament, I ended up with a 76. That's a 74 with my handicap. Fairways hits 83%. Greens and regulations 78. Pretty decent round, all things considered. Thanks for watching. I'll be playing and uploading round 2 on Wednesday.